Hi, I'm Jill, editor of Reader's Digest, and welcome to our April issue. Now, here's a little clue about what the main story is. And because we have this on our front cover, I have a special guest with us today to talk about it. He is the man behind our Word Power column, and he's also the genius behind our Instant Expert column, and it is, of course, the genius Harry Mount. Harry, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for coming in.
Pleasure.
But the reason you're in today is not to do with Word Power or Instant Expert, but it's to talk about the Royal Wedding, because you have, in your career as a journalist, done quite a few interviews with members of the royal family, so you're better placed than most to give an insight into why, after all these years, after all the change in perceptions of the royals, nevertheless, we are still fascinated by them. Why?
Well, I think we have a schizophrenic attitude to the royal family, and I certainly do, that on one level they are relatively dull. I mean, they're not particularly individually brilliant or sparkling or brilliantly talented, but at the same time, I anyway find them absolutely fascinating. I think there's two very obvious reasons. One is that we are all brought up on stories of prince and princesses.
Yes,
Yes,
that's very true.
And throughout the lifetime of any king or queen or anybody in the royal family, you follow them day in, day out, much more than any pop star. If you think about, say, the Beatles, have been around, those are still alive for 50 years now.
Yeah.
Someone like the Queen Mother was around for 100 years and would appear in the paper.
More.
And would appear in the paper, once a week, sometimes once a day, for year
Yes,
after
I
year
suppose
after
that's
year.
true, isn't it? It really is the backdrop of your life. So whatever your age, there'll be some member of the royal family that you have grown up with. Obviously, with me, it's William and Harry. But
Yeah, exactly.
but yes, they've been there at every stage, haven't they?
Yeah, and that's very, very
Yeah.
powerful. So even
Yeah.
if you dislike them, find them boring, or a Republican, you will be interested in them.
But it's true about growing up, with these stories about the royalty, because particularly as a girl, you grow up with the idea of this fantastic prince, rich, gorgeous, dream on girls coming to rescue. The reality now, would you want that life? I wouldn't.
No, I used to think exactly that. I used to think, what could be more wonderful than fame without achievement?
Yeah.
But actually,
There's a lot of that still around.
Yeah, there is.
Maybe not in the royal family.
But actually, hell on earth, I think.
Yeah.
And I think Kate, she's going to be the most famous woman in the world. And I was told this story by a friend who's just got back from New York, who's been driven up Fifth Avenue in a cab by an Afghan man who couldn't speak any English. And he was jabbering away on his phone in Afghani. And then suddenly he just turned around to my friend in the cab and went, "Kate Middleton!"
But the big question, Harry, is, are you going to the wedding?
I'm sadly not going to the wedding. No. There's still invitation lost in the post.
Well, at post you can't get the staff, can
Yeah.
you? Surely someone's done. Anyway, thank you for coming in. And
Great
can I just
pleasure.
point out that you have your book coming out in paperback, which is called A Lost for Windowsills. Isn't that fantastic?
That's right, and it's a history of British buildings from the Normans to the Second World War, and it includes, in fact, lots of buildings that they'll be going into, including Westminster Abbey and Buckingham Palace.
How very timely. Well, thank you for coming in. I hope we can get you back shortly to talk about Word Power.
Love
talk
to.
about your famous words, so we'll see you soon. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy the issue.